Fabi was supposed to be on the Italian episode, the Italian X episode.
Oh yeah,
but he couldn't make that one because of work or whatever.
damn.
But we needed him on that one.
Is he Italian?
He is, unfortunately, yeah.
He's like Italian, Argentinian, or something, right?
Man, there's so many of them in our midst. I had no idea.
Yeah, we gotta find them out. We gotta figure out who's who. We need to track them better.
Start a registry.
Yeah. Instead of like the Jewish star, it's like a piece of pizza or something. No, that's what's it better? Like a pasta or something. Like a piece of pasta. As soon as I said pizza, I was like, oh, that's too fucked up.
Yeah, pasta's not fucked up. Not at all. Yeah, just on the arm, just an armband.
Yeah, no, instead of the pedophile registry, they all just have like pizza pinned on their shirt.
They move in your neighborhood, they have to knock on all the doors. Just letting you know, I am Italian X.
What are you talking about? I just moved in.
So I'm at Slavoid T.
All right, this is Shit Spouter 37.
This is Black.com pilled.
This is the Fed Post.
So I'm just like, just on a base level, I'm just mad, fucking, just irritated with like the way they're fucking like, they just cut off. I bought AMC, like I didn't really, but I wasn't in on this, like I didn't know what was going on, and I like when it popped off, then I bought AMC like maybe the day, like the day was all going down.
Thursday.
And then the next day they took AMC off and it just plummeted. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like I couldn't even buy any. What? How can you do that? You can't do that.
Yeah, no, it's bullshit.
I can't believe that shit. Yo, imagine all the kids. I mean, yeah, you're an idiot if you put like your whole life savings in. But if you did, like, that's fucked. That's absolutely.
Yeah, well, like the thing I'm worried about most is that they're gonna like have some sort of crazy like you know, you saw like Elizabeth Warren posting about like, I don't like the way that these stocks are so volatile, blah blah blah. They need to reflect the fundamentals of the company and like all this crazy shit. Like you're gonna have like your like neocons that are gonna come in and protect big capital, and they're gonna probably like, I'm afraid they're gonna end up doing some type of shit to like null and void all transactions or something for AMC stock. I don't even know how they would do that, but doing some like crazy shit with GME and AMC to make it to where like profits are like decimated for people who made them or don't actually count or like are seized by the state or some stupid bullshit.
I had heard murmurs about like reversing stocks or something. I don't know. That was the word I saw used for basically exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't really know how they would do that though, because like there's people who've already like bought and sold and made profit off the stock and then cashed out. So like then they'd have to hit people with like SEC violations or like hit people with taxes or something.
I don't even know. I mean, like, I don't want to like go down the rabbit hole of being like money isn't real, but like, I guess like the first thing that comes to mind is just like, well, they can also just like print money and just not, you know, so like they can also just like print money and just be like, oh, debt doesn't matter. So like, I don't know. I guess there's always like, they always reserve the right to just like cast a spell or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And like, technically, like they could just keep printing money and keep giving money to the people that hold short positions. Cause like the short positions don't have a close date. So like, it's just kind of like how they're open, I'm pretty sure, for like however long. So like, as long as they can keep paying the interest on them, then they can keep them open. And so like, I think maybe they'll just keep like printing off money for these big hedge funds and then just hope that people like small retail investors just like sell and don't hold.
Really? Yeah. That's funny that Warren said that, because I just remember like the whole debate with the Warren versus Bernie crowd was like, she's just like, yeah, well, the system makes sense. Everything makes sense. We just need to tweak it. You know, it's like, oh, this should reflect the fundamentals. It's like, yo, none of this reflects the fundamental. Like none of this shit.
None of shit ever has.
No, it's Elizabeth Warren is just like her brand is like read the syllabus politics.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh well, they're you know they're not playing by the spirit of the rules.
Yeah.
They haven't run the U.S. mission statement yet. They haven't read it.
Chief Hall Monitor.
Yeah, librarian ass bitch.
Librarian ass bitch.
You can do that. Just be quiet. Please lower your voices.
She's got heavy
Getting too
femcel
rockish.
vibes. All of her fans are femcels, heavy femcels.
Oh, no doubt. Horse girl type shit.
Yeah.
I kind of respect that a little bit. Like I
do
respect the femcel market. You know what I mean? Like that's the cooperation between the incel and the femcel demographic is what the establishment truly fears.
I see where you're going. He's trying to get all the femcel pussy to himself. Reach across. He wants to be like the cult figure that the femcels all have sex with one man and he be that man.
Yeah, I'm the Charlie Manson of femcels.
No, I'm not hearing this. No.
He markets himself. I'm Elizabeth Warren with a penis. Please follow me.
CRK's got some pushback.
No, I'm not having this. There's no middle ground with them. There's nothing.
What we need to do as a populist group is we need to try to set up a dating app where you can only allow incels and femcells on, and then just try to pair them up, and then we just eliminate femceldom and inceldom, and then we're good. We go
exactly. Seldom will you find any type of seldom. I think I'm talking about a universal marriage program in the United States. It'll be great.
You say that with JB Jordan Peterson accent. You say that.
That cat in your studio apartment, that's the dragon, bucko. You gotta slay that cat. And that it's the for the women, the dragon is the cat, and for the men, the dragon is like a gaming PC. You gotta slay the pussy to get the pussy.
For us, it's a Twitter account.
Oh, 100%.
Well, you got to be careful. I don't want to piss them off because I don't want them building pipe bombs and sending them to
femcells?
HQ. I don't want to upset them off. They're dangerous.
Where femcel GF who makes pipe bombs win for me.
Yeah, that's actually kind of dope. Yeah, femcells. What a world we live in.
Yeah. Well, did you guys actually buy any? Because I didn't really like. I was very late to all this stuff. I didn't actually buy any of that stock.
Buy any femcells?
Yeah, you buy any on Wayfair? Yeah.
I got a couple coming in from Lithuania. Actually,
invest now, femcell.
Buy.
Get in on the ground floor.
Stock tax FMCL.
Did you guys buy any GameStop or any of that shit? Like,
yeah, I got in on some GameStop at like 140, and then I got in on AMC. Okay, I got in on AMC at $4 a share, like early in the week on like Monday, and then like I waited and I was watching it, and Tuesday it dropped a good bit, and I was like, so I sold off most of my position, and then Wednesday it just shot up like crazy, and I was like, fucking son of a bitch. So then I bought the dip again, some of it.
The recent one?
Yeah, the one that was like on Friday.
Yeah, I got fucking fucked out of even buying. Like I was gonna buy, what was it? I was gonna buy what was the morning where they blocked everything?
That was Thursday morning.
Thursday,
yeah, Thursday
morning.
I was gonna buy Wednesday, and then there was I literally just ran into serendipitous things fucking up my plans each fucking day of the week, and then I had to be at work really early Friday. I want to buy on Monday just to be on the train. But yeah, Thursday was going to be the day. I set my alarm. I woke up with the market. And then
that's pretty early over there for you.
Yeah, man, fucking 6 o'clock. It sucks.
Yeah.
To be honest, I actually woke up at 6 3 days in a row. I just got blocked out of buying. Half awake, was not at all surprised, just immediately went back to sleep.
Yeah, it's just God damn it, knew this was gonna happen. Knew this was too good to be true.
It was basically just I guess that makes sense. Going back to bed now, whatever.
Yep, that's the system in action word.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure that we were all less surprised than some of these fucking finance bros on Reddit that are doing this for a good healthy free market.
Yeah,
so
totally.
I got that going for me.
Yeah, but it still sucks to see the people that are yeah, bro, what, you didn't fucking see this coming? That's just how fucking capitalism works, you stupid pig. It's motherfucker, I just wanted to make some goddamn quick cash. I don't have any money right now. Who wouldn't want to do that? What?
Right, like the Kant-bot approach to every issue ever.
Dude, fuck that guy, man.
Well, yeah, the worst is all the leftist people that are like, oh, you're a capitalist now, you're investing. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, bitch, I'm investing. I'm trying to secure the bag. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
You trying to sit around with your thumb up your ass and just like bitch all the time?
Yeah, it's not praxis. It's not praxis, Menace. Are you
investing is not
that?
praxis.
Yeah. Isn't that your first and foremost concern, Menace? Praxis, like
do what the founding fathers of socialism would want me to do. That's why I wake up every morning. I think about what would make me the perfect leftist as I scroll Twitter, drooling, staring at my phone.
The fact of the matter is that Karl Marx would want you to play the stocks. He'd want you to go all in on GME, baby, and hold on for dear life.
There's no doubt about it. No doubt in my mind.
Dude, he actually wrote about all he did was sit around on his ass to write shit about capitalism, and he played in the stock market, and that's how he made money.
Exactly.
What the fuck? Yeah, dude. Like Karl Marx played with the stocks in England and like just hung out on Engels's couch all the time. So like, what the fuck?
It's actually where his nickname Carl Diamond Hands Marx.
Yeah, that's for a different reason. It's for a whole different reason. Engels gave it to him.
Yeah, no, exactly. He asked for he got the handout from Engels. I like the idea of just like playing into the talking point that right wingers have that like Marx was a bum and just like owning that. Like
Marx is a bum.
Marx was just a fucking neat.
Bums are badass, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty.
The original neat. Karl Marx.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Did you guys get any Drew and Spicy?
Yeah, I hopped in. On because I didn't hear anything about it until like the middle of Wednesday, and at the end of the day, I got home after market, and I was like, can I make money on this? And a couple people were like, oh yeah, totally. So I hopped in on Wednesday and was feeling pretty good about it, and I got home, and then the Discord shit happened, and I was like, with my friends, the Discord and the Reddit, and so like at that point, like because I missed the Bitcoin wave, but I was there way back. I could have got in, and I couldn't because I was in high school. And my mom was like, "You're not going to spend you only have $200. Like, you're not going to spend that on this like dumbass shit. You're 16. You don't know what you're doing." And I missed the Bitcoin wave, so I was like, "Fuck it. Like, let me hop in this." So I hopped in it, and then that shit happened, and I got kind of shook because I was like, "This is pretty fucky." And then it came back, and everything seemed to be good. So I was feeling really good going into Thursday. And then I remember I got into work, and it was like 3 minutes before I clocked in. It was like they froze all the buys. And I was like, I'm not playing with this shit. And I pulled out Thursday morning. I was like, fuck this.
Right.
I can't trust anything after this.
Yeah. I bought AMC, and then it just starts dipping because they like blocked everybody out. I'm like, damn, man, what happened to the free market? What happened to that? I'm trying to play the free market.
Yeah, I didn't even bother because I have terrible instincts. So.
It might have been the right instincts in this scenario, though.
I don't trust that's why I've never gone into like stocks really or like gambling, because I'm just a horrible decision maker. So.
You didn't get any, Drew?
No, I didn't buy any. I LARP on the timeline like a really risky person, but in all actuality, like I'm very risk averse. Like I have like a 401k and a Roth IRA and stuff, and I'm saving up for a down payment on a house eventually. So that's currently what I'm doing.
Your PMC job is a risk evaluator for an insurance company.
Pretty much. But no, I'm too much of a pussy, dude. Like I have on Cash App, the most I ever do is like whenever people send me money on Cash App for, alcohol or drugs or whatever the fuck I'm doing, I'll put that into Bitcoin, and that's the extent of my like investment outside of traditional markets. I'm way too much of a pussy, unfortunately. But I was watching the whole thing. It seemed crazy. The way people post when stuff like that happens, I love it. Like when Dogecoin was going up, like you can feel the fucking energy on the timeline and like group chats and stuff. It's just fucking wild.
It's just fun to be a part of, like to just like see and just kind of like ride the wave online. Like it's kind of like when the capital is being rated, you're just like, all right, shit, I just gotta get online and just see what the fuck people are posting.
Yeah.
COH, you gotta get on Twitter, bro.
That's crazy.
There was a new like Discord or the FedCord channel, like that. It was some like just the rocket emojis, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was like, what the fuck is this? What are these people up to? They're just manic posting all day and that shit. I had no idea.
It's just like retard memes and just like yelling hold.
Dude,
yeah.
our fucking investment channel on our Discord has like taken over the entire fucking server.
Oh yeah, it's maybe the most active channel now, and it's only like 6 people.
Easy.
Yeah. The Wall Street bets before they shut it down. Like I saw that clip of them talking on the Discord. It's just them yelling like incomprehensible. Just hold.
Bro, it made my phone run like bullshit because I joined it on the Discord like on my phone, and I was just like clicking around in it and trying to read, and my phone like immediately froze up in Discord, and then like after that for like until I left the group, my phone was just like not running correct because there's just so many fucking people. It's like 500,000 people in that Discord and like hundreds of people on the voice chat at a time.
Yeah, I didn't join it, but I mean, yeah, I wasn't in it, but like that shit was just mad fun to watch. It was just like the Capitol raid. It was like, whoa, this is what's going down. Like I had no idea. And I'm just like, damn, it's mad fun to watch because I kept being worried that like after Biden won that like we'd just get Obama year shit. I knew that people would like there'd still be like unrest or like resentment or whatever, but like I thought it might be a little boring for a while. It's been dying, yo. The whole Capitol raid. Yeah,
like
yeah.
Instead of it being circus bullshit about Donald Trump acting like an ape or something, it's going to be about like just like holy shit, look at this actual stuff that's happening. That's kind of crazy right now. Like, you know.
Yeah. The whole thing has been like mad fucking fun. But I knew somebody would say it was racist. I knew it. I just especially after the Capitol raid, like when that happened, and within like a couple of hours, all of a sudden people were like, this is actually racist. It doesn't look racist on the face of it, but it is racist somehow. And I like when that happened, like I just knew that somebody was gonna make that take, and I was just waiting,
Oh, it came out so quick, man. It didn't even take much time at all.
Yeah, that guy being like, the Telegram, what's his name? I don't know. Mother Jones writer, I forget whatever his name is. He's just like, on Telegram, the Nazis are buying the stock or whatever. Like the Nazis are buying game.
Yeah,
I can confirm that they're buying on Telegram that they're buying GameStop. I was just, I was so happy when I saw it. Like I didn't feel anything. I was just really fucking happy. I was just like dying. Like that shit is amazing. It's like clockwork. It's fucking clockwork. Like
dude, I got it. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's just amazing. It's just like I don't know how you could spin buying stock to being Nazi, but like it's automatic. It's automatic. There's nothing to it.
Well, it's starting to feel like whenever anything happens at this point, they just claim that the people doing something are Nazis, no matter what it fucking is. It's like the insurrection or the market or literally any happening going on, period. It's just Nazis. So you just have to wait.
It's the perfect excuse because it's not like a tangible, like measurable thing. So like you can't like prove or disprove something's racist. So you just call it racist. And the majority of people hopefully will believe you, if that's like what you're using as your
Have you guys been called Nazi, like straight Nazi, not just like problematic, but like actually a Nazi?
Me and Menace have like several times.
Oh, for sure.
I think probably everyone on here has, right? Maybe not Spicy.
Nazi.
It's funny because I would think that Spicy would be the least likely because Spicy, you're like online being nice to people.
Yeah. I know you're just like nice, horny, and you dance like.
Yeah, it's like that woman that was replying to me yesterday talking about like fascism in the U.S. and you like started replying to her like being pleasant, and it's like Spicy's doing the work, I respect that, but
no, it was a while ago. It was somebody was in an argument and I made a joke about coming in a book, and then they started calling everyone Nazis, and because I was there joking about coming in books, they were like, "You're a Nazi too," and I was like, "What did I do, man?"
You're a Nazi. Yeah.
Y'all know that Sig Heil by N-word meme that everyone posts around?
I'm familiar. I'm very familiar.
What is the N-word? So I know exactly what meme you're talking about.
Yeah, I remember Spicy posted that one time, and then they deemed it to me, and they're like, "Are you friends with Nazis?" I'm like, "No, it's like ironic." I had to explain like the whole thing, and like it took like 30 minutes of explanation. I'm like, this is the last guy on earth who's a Nazi, but he posted it.
well known Nazi, Spicy boy.
Oh, dude, like I've been talking to like some normie friends of mine, and like the thing, I mean, it's definitely not like new to just this investment thing, but like, I mean, like basically anything that just doesn't exist in like the corporately owned segments of the media, or sorry, like the internet, same difference, right? Is basically just like considered dangerous extremism. Like,
Well, dude,
and it's
on the
and
news, on
go ahead.
CNBC and shit, they were talking about like this Wall Street Bets Reddit page, and they were saying the dark web and the deep web and shit. They're like, on the deep web on Reddit. It's like, dude, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Like, that's like, it's anything that's not just like fucking Twitter or some corporate ass dumb bullshit, which Reddit even is still. Like, they just are like, yeah, this is like some dark web neo-Nazi 4chan board or something, which is like also a regular website. Like,
Yeah. It started with just the slurs. It was like, well, a lot of these guys are using the R word or whatever. It started like innocuous. I was like, that's good, but it's, it's a little expected or whatever. I needed someone to say I needed them to say the N word. I needed Nazi. I needed that shit. Like, I needed to see it. And then I saw that shit. I was like, yo, this is amazing. Because you're always like, yo, they always just use this as like anybody who's like not just a mindless NPC lib is a Nazi. Like, you just say that, but people don't really believe you. They're like, yeah, it sounds a little crazy, but like, what better example is this? Like, I think this really is like, I don't want to like overinflate the moment, but like, honestly, I think it did a lot for some people who were like on the fence about it and were just like, oh yeah, they'll just say anybody is a Nazi. They really will. I mean,
like, one thing I'm really interested in, I have like an Antifa friend who's like some kid from high school who I know, who I have on Instagram, and like we've argued about like a bunch of different shit, and like it's always like he ends up like just chewing me out, calling me like a Nazi and shit, because it's sort of like Antifa rad lib shit, and I'm always like, just like
banter between friends.
Like, yeah, bro, like that's cool, but like I don't know where you're trying to get out of this. And then we end the conversation, and he'll respond to me every single time. So I hit him up over this, and I was like, yeah, like, do you have any thoughts on like the GameStop stuff? And he's like, yeah, man, it's like a bunch of bullshit. They're like, these are a bunch of people like trying to say fuck you to the system, and it's like cracking down on them. And I'm actually really, I meant to DM him, but I really want to ask and be like, hey, like, what do you think about the Discord getting shut down and them calling everyone Nazis? Like, do you think that was like clearly a play to like shut down this energy, or do you think that they're actual Nazis? Because he could go either way, but interesting. It's an interesting conversation.
If he's like, yeah, I do see how that's like a play, then you're like, okay, word. Now do you see how that's always a functional device for doing that type of thing?
Exactly. Right. Exactly. And there's like, I know a bunch of people who are like, they're pretty passive, but like this kind of like autistic shit pops off, and this is like a window to be like, hey, like, doesn't that seem kind of fishy? And like, don't you think it could be fishy in other contexts?
Right.
Yeah. I think that forever, like internet culture, like just speaking of it all together, which I know is like dubious, but like internet culture, I think has always had like a streak of like subversiveness to it. And I think that just comes from like being like an alternative to mainstream culture. And I think that like just between that and like the immediate threat that it poses, like, I don't know. I'm always, I talk about like how I'm always like underestimating like the libs and the corporate libs and all that shit. But like, yeah, nah, like normies really genuinely do think that like anything outside of their, channels that they check, the same, like the internet is just 2 websites for most people now. You know what I mean? Like 2 or 3 websites. And like, it didn't used to be that way, like at all. And that's bad. Right. And the idea that Reddit is alternative news when it literally is a corporate content aggregate, right? Mm-hmm. It's basically it's basically the furthest you can get from that. It's like, in a lot of ways, it's worse than just being a wine mom watching MSNBC, right? I don't know. I mean, just look at the Pepe thing, right? Like the Pepe is like a hate symbol, right? And it's completely off the reservation. It's fucking wacky shit, dude. And I don't know. This is like something we've like talked about a good amount recently, and I feel like, I'm like around Seattle, so I'm like in the fucking heart of darkness. So I hope I'm wrong here, but dude, like this is effective for so many fucking people. Like, people genuinely think that like the Capitol Hill LARPer. I mean, okay, I don't want to open that can of worms, but like at the very least, like the people showing up to Capitol Hill and like not really accomplishing a whole hell of a lot were like genuine terrorists, and like people genuinely think this shit is scary. Right. And it's like, bro, like, all the contradiction doesn't matter because everything's just so compartmentalized, right? Like to say that like to say that like random right wingers like aren't a meaningful threat to the world at all is like can only mean that you like are totally supporting fucking weird anime Nazi people on Discord or whatever. And it's like, no, like I don't know. It's just it's so disheartening. And like this last week with the GameStop stuff after the Capitol Hill stuff has just been like really disheartening of like this shit works.
I think this is like somewhat like the GameStop thing's been a little bit less disheartening for me because like I think everyone can see, like even some of my friends who are more general kind of basic libs that like would call the Capitol rioter people Nazis or whatever, they're like seeing this. And like I posted on Facebook about the Discord being called like white supremacists and shit like that. And I was like, oh, bring out the hedge funds are in trouble, bring out the specter of white supremacists. And like all my lib friends were like, yeah, like this is bullshit. So like, I don't know. I think there's utility in this moment. And I think that there's a lot more people like seeing past that. Like, I don't think that your normie, your just average normie right now is like, oh, those fucking Wall Street bet people are Nazis. Like, I think that's a couple just deranged lunatics on Twitter that are super libs plugged into that media circuit, like blue check people that are trying to make that the narrative. And I don't think it's caught on like it did with the Capitol shit.
Yeah. This is Go ahead, Menace.
Oh no, I think that he's right. I think that sometimes when you're online and like a narrative is being created, you think that it's like more powerful than it is when people that aren't online have no idea that that's even what's being spun. Because like I was like texting my like dad about the he's like just generic lib. He doesn't really pay attention that much, but he's definitely pretty liberal. But anyway, like I was like texting him about the Discord being shut down and stuff, and even he was like, "What the fuck? Like that's very suspicious timing." I mean, he basically called it like it was bullshit. Like that's obviously not the reason it was being shut down. Right. So I think there are obviously like the usual actors trying to like spin that story. But I with the Capitol stuff, it's very difficult to explain to libs that they're not all terrorists. But with the GameStop thing, I actually think is a very, very blatant spin that I think that more than you might think is BS.
It's super useful when they do something like that too, because then it's like, okay, it's harder to suss it out when it's like the Capitol thing and there's like two people there wearing an Auschwitz shirt or whatever. And like it's harder to suss that out than like, oh, they're just obviously blatantly labeling this Discord of millions of people with varied interest like Nazis and white supremacists just because they're threatening us economically. Like I think that right there there's a lot of utility in that. And I think that like I'm so glad that they did it, like because it like helps prove how fucking stupid it is. And like I was talking about with Spicy, you can just talk with these people and say, hey, well, don't you see how like in this scenario, if it's bullshit, it could be bullshit in these other scenarios too, obviously.
Right. Because the Capitol raid, there's violence, so like it's a little bit trickier to convey that. But with this, there's no violence, right? It's just some hedge fund dudes getting fucked. So like now the SEC people, they're just like, this is bad. We need to stop this. We can't have a market that's, easily manipulated like this. All this stuff that even the average layman like lib like knows is like, wait, this is what happened. What do you mean? Like, why does it apply to them but not to everybody else? Like, why not to the the trader, the Wall Street dudes? Like everybody knows this is way more on its face blatant. So like that, you're right. I think there's a lot more normies who are like who can tell that it's just like this is so blatant, and like it kind of pulls. Hopefully it pulls like the mask off of some other shit. But like, yeah, again, it's like you need a lot of people to do this shit, right? Like the Capitol raid, you need a good amount of people. Maybe you could say it's marginal. You always say like MAGA's marginal, the Nazis, reactionaries are marginal or whatever. You can always say that. But like do something like this, you need a good amount of people. And I've seen people online that like are clearly not Nazis. Like they're black, they're all different types of women, like they're all different types of people. Like, so like they're clearly not all fucking, doing it because it's Jewish Holocaust Remembrance Day. You know what I mean? Like it's clearly,
you can't respect the stock market on the Jewish people's holiest of days.
Because they kept throwing like 4chan Snapchats of like people being like, yeah, we're gonna fuck Goy, we're gonna show him, we're gonna hit him where it hurts or whatever. Like, yeah, sure, dude. Okay, of course, sure, but like, but like that's not the majority, right? And again, if you can't tell me
desecrate the temple.
Well, your sacred institution.
Dude, that's my favorite part. It's always the strongest with anti-Semitism for whatever reason. Of the like, whenever you're accusing people of doing it, like there's always this implication that makes the accused accuser sound like the anti-Semitic one. You know what I mean? Like that's like being like you're not supporting Black Lives Matter in like National Watermelon Month or something like that. just like crazy shit. Where it's just like, wait, hold up for a second.
Non-Jewish people shouldn't be allowed to trade on this day.
Honey, I'm sorry, I can't buy any GameStop.
All right. No, I just don't get like, is it like a small marginal group of people doing this, or is it a lot of people, right? Because it's like it takes a good amount of people to do this. So I don't understand. Like, are you still framing that they're like a fringe group, or is it a lot of people? And if it's a lot of people, are you saying that most people in America are Nazis, or the average normie Rogan normie is a Nazi? And that's what a lot of people think. That's what a lot of people think.
Yeah, they think that like 50% of this country is, SS, Nazi types, ready to put people in camps. Do you remember when Trump was elected, how they were saying that there was going to be a genocide? It was just a matter of time. Like they honestly believe this, and there's no changing their mind.
Shit. They're like, yeah, he wants like Jewish people in a registry, like posting like side by sides with him and like Hitler in 1932 and shit. They're like, well, don't you see what's happening?
Yeah.
Literally, I thought he was gonna put Muslim people with armbands because he mentioned it one time in an interview, like something like we need to signify them. I believe that shit. I really did. I thought that might have happened. I mean, it was real. That's really what people believe. And like, in hindsight now, it's like a joke. But that's honestly people believe it.
I almost think that like the simplest way I can like put like what message I want to put out into the world. Just the simplest way to put it is just like go from thinking that like the average normie being like a Joe Rogan fan is a problem to seeing that like the fact that the average normie is a Joe Rogan fan is like a very good thing. Yeah, we should feel optimistic by that fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to work with there. I don't know. Go ahead.
No, you go on, Slav. You were talking. You were heating up.
Yeah, dude. I'm getting to a simmer here. I mean, like, I'm perfectly okay, like contradicting myself a little bit about this. Like, is there reason to be optimistic or negative? Because, like I said, like where I am, geographically is going to show me one side of it. You know what I mean? And so like, I pray to God I'm wrong. I think that like on the more optimistic side of it, like this is one thing that I think is great about the GameStop thing is that like it's people operating within capital, right? And I think that all the like that there's a lot in that statement to unpack, and I'm really far from like somebody who's a good person to really unpack that. But I do think that like to the extent that it's like the war of ideas, like that fucking lib information war bullshit, that is true to an extent. Like I think like if you're operating within capital, that's like a pretty good way of like presenting yourself as like beyond reproach for the normies, right? Like when Wall Street Bets goes up, right? And like it's funny because this is an example of like leftists on Twitter are like basically demonstrating to you like the exact opposite thing of what you should be doing. All of these like Ken Klippenstein fucking little weirdo chopos being like, there's that meme of like the Rose Twitter being like, we're sticking it to those bourgeois hedge fund managers, and Wall Street Bets is like looking at them with disgust. Like when Wall Street Bets like posts online, being like, hey, like we don't want socialism, we just want an actual free market. Like, yeah, that's cucked, but like that's how you need to frame what's happening right now for normies to not actually think you're crazy fucking fringe lunatics. Totally. And I think that there's like a real strength to that. And I think that the subtext there is also just showing like, I mean, we're 2 for 2 right now, right? Like the Capitol Hill protest actually did what the Bernie movement claimed they were going to do with the fuck around and find out. And then Wall Street, you gotta love it. And then Wall Street Bets is doing this right now, right? And I mean, of course, like leftists online are like not doing any reflection at all. Like they're just in the process of like stealing credit for all this shit.
Well, for me, it gets me super hyped up because I feel like it's proof of concept once again of economic populism being like a functional tool. Like right here, the GameStop thing, and like the fact that there's just millions and millions of people from from varied ideological sets and beliefs and backgrounds that are partaking in this and buying up GameStop shares right now. A, in a way to buck the system, but B, just to make some goddamn money because it's in their fucking economic interest to do so. Shows the power of pure just economic incentive and how you can bring people together to do something like that just through finding common ground economically.
I think also the other interesting thing is, like, obviously you have the material incentive, and then you sort of have the narrative to go along that, you know, romanticizes it and justifies it. So, like, I have a friend who got in early on and she's on, you know, posting on Instagram, and, you know, the big thing she's repeating is to, like, make them pay. And to me, I'm like, all right, like, you're trying to secure the bag, and, like, you know, I'm cool with that. You can be honest with it. But the real, like, you know, it's like the number one meme is hold the line, and the second one is make them pay. And I think what I noticed, you know, across all of my Instagram friends, like even my most rad lib, like NYU activist friends are still like, yeah, like this is ridiculous. Like we want to fuck them up, fuck the hedge funds. So it's like you have the material incentive, and then you also have like this really potent narrative, which is, you know, downstream from Occupy.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. It's
so sort of like what has unified all my friends, what I've seen.
Yeah, from a propaganda standpoint, it's like incredible. Like their logos and mottos are very militant. Like hold the line is like a militant. It's like a military kind of phrase. Like it's almost like being in the fucking forefront of like a war.
We are Spartan.
Like make them pay and shit. It's militant phrasing. It's better rhetoric than the Bernie campaign ever used. And they're doing the type of thing that they wanted. Like it's showing the ability of just and the desire for just regular people to try to pull the bag in their direction in any way that they possibly can, and taking it into a little bit of their own hands. Like okay, the Bernie goddamn bullshit didn't work. The Trump shit didn't work. I guess we're just gonna buy some goddamn GME and hope it just goes to the moon.
It's funny about the left like taking credit for it. Like it's so amazing, and like AOC trying to take a little like steal the steam, and then being like, I would be down, but I would be down with this revolution, but Ted Cruz tried to get me killed. You know what I mean? Like
murdered me.
He tried to get me murdered. Attempted murder. And it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, and all these losers talking about like, oh, this is in praxis. Like that's what I see. Like as far as people being like, yeah, the left is down with this. I'm like, really? Because really what I saw was, oh, this isn't praxis. This isn't praxis. I'm like, yo, fuck praxis. Karl Marx can suck my dick. I don't give a shit about him. I don't give a shit what he thinks. Fuck that shit, yo. Get your fucking money. Yo, fuck these motherfuckers. Like whatever makes the hedge fund guys upset is good. Anybody who's remotely upset about this or unhappy about this is a fucking op. Is a fucking person.
You're really gonna listen to what his cis straight mayo ass tells you to do? Karl Marx.
Exactly. A cis straight mayo. Fuck that.
Mayo ass white boy.
Being devil.
He needs to read Settlers, yeah.
But the funniest cope was that woman that said that the left can't pull off stuff like this because the feds are too on their is watching the left so closely. I was like, all right, cool. That's the only thing stopping you.
Yeah, they're at their improv comedy sessions. So, you know, in Chicago, just like, you know, they're heavily monitoring them, like, you know, doing like corny ass gay bullshit. Like, yeah, it's very dangerous. Very dangerous.
I will say that the only thing that I'll say to like play devil's advocate here, because we know we love pushback on this show, is that people who think of themselves as the quote unquote real leftists, some of the times the organizations that they're involved in are a little bit under scrutiny. Like for instance, like PSL, like they're the Party for Socialism and Liberation. They're like a Stalinist party. They have a pretty strong chapter here in Denver, and 2 of their members are facing like 35 years in jail and are currently on trial right now for like conspiracy to like overthrow the government and shit like that, because they've like organized like 2 like cancel rent marches and shit like that.
Oh fuck, yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, so like there is a level of like scrutiny upon certain groups, but like the left as a whole, as far as the operating picture of what we have as the left, like the DSA and shit, no, they're not fucking worried about that. Like no, like they play right into their interests and wishes. So yeah, a little bit of pushback there.
Yeah.
That's fair.
No, that's a good point. No, because I mean, it is definitely happening to some people. I just think that, you know, the average like 500 follower person with like socialist in their bio, you don't have a federal agent assigned to you. I can
totally
promise
not.
you that.
No.
Yeah.
This was funny. Just is just like that one post I saw where it was just like, yo, what is the left even doing? Like, you know, between the capital rate and this, like, what are we doing? I'm like, you're not doing shit. You're not doing shit. Shut the fuck. You're not doing shit. You know what I mean? It's just so funny, like them trying to like.
I got a little pushback on that. I think they're accomplishing a good amount. They're. I was just talking to my roommate about this. The left basically just primarily exists just to convince people that like the Democratic Party isn't just exclusively for like their like square boomer parents. And so like to that extent, like, exactly.
With the machetes, making way. Yeah,
they're just culturally fluent Democrats. They're Democrats that say that they're not happy about being Democrats and then give an ironic eye roll. But then like still like freak out and wet their pants like at the idea of like anyone with, you know, I mean, they all have, it was like what Angie was saying, right? Like Vouch just has the politics of like a 40-year-old liberal woman, right? They're just there for PR. That's all they're doing.
Right. Wine mom in the form of a neckbeard. Yeah.
Wine mom republic.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, well, that's the one thing where they were just like, oh, it's all Nazis, and I'm just like, well, maybe there are some, but like all of them, like I don't know about that, but then the other thing is like, do you guys ever get like people like I've been getting people in my mentions who are like talking about the Holocaust didn't happen. Like, do you guys get actual like people who are like, you know, we usually get like, oh, you're a Nazi, you're a Nazi. You ever get people who are coming in your mentions like you're dodging on this Jewish question, you're dodging on the JQ, like
you're dodging on the shit that really matters, like the fact that the Holocaust never happened.
Yeah, I would say probably 1 out of 5 of my posts has Holocaust denial in the reply.
That's doing the work right there.
Yeah,
that's all my replies.
Yeah, I don't know. They're always it always just seems to tend that way. I get some really crazy replies. I think I have some of the best repliers in the game, but they do sometimes wild out a little hard. They go hard. Yeah. So
absolutely no, you got the best posts in the game. So of course you're drawing the real sickos, the real loose screw motherfuckers. But like, yeah, I get every once in a while I get people that are just, oh wow, CRK's dodging on the Jewish question. Like, I'm like, yo, what are you talking about, dude? I don't know what you're talking, dude. I don't think the Holocaust didn't happen. Just because I make fun of rad libs and like libs, like doesn't mean I think the Holocaust didn't happen. I don't know. I mean, I don't.
Dude, it's like I've been thinking about this a good amount just because like there's a little overlap with my personal life with like people I know, but like it's kind of the same thing as MAGA people that just transition over to being like entirely like QAnon now is like you can't get off like the liberalism boat because it's sinking, and so you're just transitioning into like instead of like doing any kind of personal growth, which like I don't know, maybe that's like a shitty way of talking about these kinds of issues, but like instead of like doing any kind of personal growth, you're just transitioning to like magical thinking. And like I'm sorry, but like if you're talking about Holocaust denial, you're off the fucking reservation. like that's retard shit, right? Like it isn't like don't people say like anti-Semitism is like idiots socialism or something, right? Like,
a little bit.
Like, yeah, no, I'm sorry. I will say like my hot take will be that like ultimately at the end of the day, like I think that like having those people in my mentions like isn't as big of a threat as your crazy Libby wine moms, just because like and this is like a mold bug thing that he said is like, can you name anyone that is like further from any levers of power than Nazis?
Well, hold up. We could talk real quick since this kind of ties right into it about the representative, or maybe she's a senator. I think this is a representative though, who tweeted about California's forest fires didn't happen because climate change and because it's too hot, but they happened because the Jewish people have a base laser that like shot and warmed up California and caused the fires. She said there's a Jewish space laser that caused the California wildfires. So and she's a state, she's a congressperson.
My state.
Base, let's go.
Menace voted for her.
Oh my god! All right, so maybe a little egg on my face immediately. There is this state senator or is this?
No, she's a U.S. Congresswoman representative for Georgia.
Oh my god!
Space.
I saw a Jewish space laser was trending, but I didn't realize until a couple days later that that came from Georgia. It came from her. So yeah, well, she's the one trying to. Yeah, she's the one. Well, she's the one that introduced the impeachment articles for Joe Biden too. She's going all out. She's going hard. She's like the number one plan truster.
All right, I'm following her on Twitter now.
Well, okay, all right. So I'll
walk or what? Like
I'll walk that back. Woman. I'll walk that back slightly.
Did she have a boyfriend or what? Like what?
Her DMs are open. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
All right, I'm in there. What up?
She might not be super into dating non-white people, though. To be honest,
look, very persuasive.
Hey! She can be anti-Semitic and not racist. Let's be clear on that.
Yeah.
Plus, CRK is politically white, so
sure.
You ain't black.
Okay, well, I'll even say then there though, right? Like I'm sure that her saying that just made her the fucking laughing stock of the fucking week, right?
No, totally.
Like I guess that's like the main thing. It's like I'm not even scared if somebody like comes into my mentions and starts saying some like deranged, retarded Nazi stuff, because it's like, first of all, like everyone thinks you're a fucking moron, right? And then like secondly, like the actual, and I feel like you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm a little worried by it, but I'm worried by it because I don't want the fucking heat that they're gonna bring on my account by saying this shit.
I don't want them to start like policing my follows and followers, like that kind of thing.
I don't want people seeing people saying this.
Of my tweets and some reply being like, yeah, exactly, CRK. That's why the Jews are lying about the Holocaust. I'm like,
no,
I just
exactly.
know that's gonna happen one day. I'm just like,
yeah. I mean, maybe it's naive of me, but I just assume it's all jokes. I mean, and sometimes it's like very legit, but like, and I'm sure some of it is, but like isn't. But like, I mean, I just roll with it. 'Cause I mean, the thing is, I just let him say it. The thing is, no, just hear me out. Hear me out. When you talk about the power, some random guy with 70 followers that says the Holocaust didn't happen.
Yeah.
What does? Whether he's joking or whether he's sincere, what did that change?
Exactly.
Plus, he's going to be banned off Twitter tomorrow, so don't even worry about it.
The dude in my replies was telling me that the Holocaust never happened. He was suspended a day later. I'm like, oh shit!
They got them. They got him.
He's probably in a FEMA. He's in a FEMA cuck shed now.
Yeah, he's in the re-education camps.
Yeah, he's in one of these. He's in a settler re-education camp. Yeah, there we go.
No, but Slav, I totally see your point though. Like I know I gave the pushback on that, and like I tried to offer a little bit of like a devil's advocate position, but like
that's a good point though.
The fact is that one of these people is literally just everyone with a brain can tell that that's just retarded and just look past that, right? And just like kind of disregard it. The other one of these people, the crazy like zanned out wine moms on Twitter, those people, the narrative, like the general cultural narrative supports their crazy tendencies. Exactly. So it's more concerning at that level because like that seems to be like they could just hitch on that wave and fucking go with it. Like right now, like the cultural narrative is repugnant towards Nazism. So like Nazism is not like a concern that I would feel like is something that's like I don't think that anyone's ever going to get a good solid majority consensus of Americans to think that the Holocaust didn't happen, especially since World War II is a huge part of our fucking cultural like ethos. Like us being the fact that we like ridded the world of evil fascism and killed like the Nazis is a big thing for like American pride, like winning World War II. So like you're just not ever going to get people to just think that that's not real or that that's never going to take hold like strongly.
No,
yeah, like World War II is like no, not at all. Like a World War II was like the inciting incident of our modern world, right? Yeah. And so the idea that you want to like wade into the water of being like, oh, I'm going to push back on all that like I was about to say myth making, but then that makes it sound like I'm actually a denialist.
You say mythos maybe or something?
Yeah, mythos, like just cultural narratives, right? That don't imply lies and farces.
In the zeitgeist.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm gonna push back on these cultural narratives and like march to the beat of my own drum and try to like rewrite all of that, right? Because like big surprise, like the past is a fantasy world, right? Yeah. And so that's what they're trying to do, and it's like it's the most it's a nonsense task, right?
Dude, and motherfuckers can't even get a consensus on 9/11, and like people don't even like the Iraq war. Like people like genuinely think that that's not a good thing, and you can't even get people to concede that 9/11 was like a false flag. Like there's no matter what it is, like you're not going to be able to do that. It's fucking retarded, and it's not near as big of a piece of our history and ethos as like World War II and us being world police is.
Exactly, and the thing is like in like counter to 9/11, like the consensus on fucking World War II is like as strong as you could possibly get. Totally. Like that is the story. That's like the Bible of our of modern history. Like, what are you fucking talking about? And like honestly, like I'm pretty confident that like it's like as far as history goes, which is generally fairly inaccurate, right?
This is generally kind of right.
it's probably pretty accurate, and to the extent that it is embellished by like material conditions and power and all of that, like I'm not really concerned about that, right? Like come the fuck on. But again, it's like there's no middle ground. Like you thinking, you know, like Holocaust denialism is so patently retarded that I think I can just kind of like offhandedly dismiss it. People immediately think that's some kind of like tacit like endorsement of it, which is like just an insult.
Is violence, Slav.
Oh my fucking god! Right?
Well, yeah. But so are words. So are words.
Yeah, everything's violence. Everything besides being in favor of fucking Sleepy Joe is violence.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely have those replies where I'm just like, I'm kind of bewildered. I'm like, damn, I can't believe this. I can't believe this person like thinks I'm on the same page or whatever. I don't know how to deal with that. I just
you don't even need to go to replies. Just take a quick look into Discord at Rin.
Yeah.
But yeah, Drew was talking about the Twitter etiquette the other day. I was just like that kind of made me think of that. Like, yo, like just like I don't know, like people like if I retweet someone and they start to they reply to the retweet and they're talking about this crazy shit and I'm just like getting argumentative. I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up. Yeah. What's wrong with you? Like,
yeah, you get tagged in all the replies. They start having an argument. Like, dude, you're making me look bad because I retweeted this and you reply with retarded shit, and now I have to like mute this conversation just because I thought the original post was funny. That shit drives me up the fucking wall.
Yeah. Just like, you know, people just getting into arguments in my replies. I'm just like, yo, shut the fuck up. Like, I blocked this lib like 3 days ago. Why are you still debating them? Shut the fuck up. Like, but what were some of your rules, Drew? Like, you were like, what were some of the things you were saying? Like, you've been on that lately. Like lately, you've been on that.
Yeah, I mean, Twitter's been annoying me a lot lately. It was just like general stuff like you can't reply to me without liking. You can't fucking just annoy me. Shit like that. Like, come on, have some fucking courtesy, dude. Yeah. Like, respect the OP. Like the post, then reply.
Never tag a retweeter in a reply because that's fucking miserable.
Yeah, exactly. Don't fucking post screenshots of people's ults. Don't fucking don't argue with people without tagging the OP, and don't like follow or like police and stuff like that. It's just general trends.
Yeah.
I've I have some sympathy for people who comment without liking, because I went through a solid 2 months of losing my likes every like 10 hours. And I'm a reply guy at heart, so
Spicy, when you're on Twitter, do you just like every single thing that's in front of your face?
Bro, I like every fucking like
I don't feel special anymore when I see your likes now.
Well, I know it brings me great joy, but it's like if I read a thread, I'll read like a great thread of replies and I'll be like, oh, this is really good. I'll just like them all because I'm like, oh, I enjoyed this whole exchange. Right. And it feels weird to like one of them, And, dude, if you're just like, you're neurotically on Twitter for 14 hours a day, like you're just like, oh, there's a lot of good shit out there. And then, 6 hours goes by and your likes are gone.
Right.
It doesn't cost you anything to toss a like in the bucket,
Yeah, it's free currency.
Dude, if I see any of my posts not getting likes from you now, I'm going to be fucking pissed.
Just DM them Spicy and be like, why didn't you like this?
So literally, I went through a whole week. I worked the whole week and I was fine. And as soon as like Friday night hit, all my likes are gone.
Rate limited, bitch.
Oh, page is rate limited too a lot, right? Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah. So just there are times when people reply without liking, and it's it's a tragedy.
It just comes off different. Like if I get like a reply and it's like, yeah, tell them CRK, and it's like, is there a fave? It's like, yeah. But if there's no fave, and like, yeah, tell them CRK. Like I'm just like, what are you trying to say? You trying to be sarcastic?
Yeah.
You trying to be slick? Like, yo, fuck you. Like,
Motherfucker, are you talking funny right now?
exactly.
I agree.
Yeah. It's the most confusing though when someone like replies nice but they don't fave. So I'm like, are you fucking with me? What the fuck is wrong with you? What kind of games are you playing? Mind games. So I think some people don't know though. I think some people legitimately don't know.
Right.
You also got to remember, there's a lot of autistic people out there that just don't really understand etiquette as a concept, really.
Any social awareness at all. Just like, we're bad, but there's some that are just like, they have no idea whatsoever, anything at all that happening. Yeah, I mean, you got to think about it.
People replying too. There are a lot of like people will just say weird shit in replies, and it's like, bro, can you like just not kill the mood?
Yeah, you're like, don't drag me into that weird bullshit, dude. You're like, I don't even agree with that remotely.
It's funny though. Sometimes I really do feel like when I retweet somebody, like I feel like I'm like, especially like I think I told Drew this. If I like retweet like women, I really feel like I'm like throwing them to the wolves because I know the type of guys that are in my replies.
You don't want any part of this, sweetheart. Get out of here.
You don't want no part in this posting business.
Yeah, you don't want the attention that I can give you.
Oh, show milkers. Yeah, savages.
Like the AT&T girl, just like on like an Instagram feed, just like, please leave me alone, and just like incels are just like milkers.
I have a family.
Who's coming and be like, hey, what's up, bitch? The Holocaust is fake, but I know that this can happen.
I know those shits are real.
Oh my fucking god, dude.
No, I think I agree with Drew on the like for me it's like posting stuff from privates or like leaking DMs is like
that's a big
big.
I hate when people do that. Like there's very few times I'll make exceptions, like if you're autistic and tell somebody they have a pungent pussy. But outside of that, like
what is the story with Lincoln Project getting Drew?
Well, okay, Lincoln Project's a justifiable cancellation.
What happened with them?
One of the founders was sexually harassing like young gay men up and even like children, like they were 14, 15 years old, sending them like sex and stuff like that. And I think it's like 20 plus individuals he was sending inappropriate text about and like offering to further their career for sexual favors and stuff like that. And it came out. And of course, everyone in the Lincoln Project, their initial reaction is, they apologize, but then they immediately go on the attack on Trump, who's not even president, who's completely irrelevant now. They keep bringing up his accusations and stuff like that because these people are fucking sick, and that's all they can think about is just Trump derangement syndrome. Yeah, that's what's been happening all day today. George Conway, all of them.
Yep, he's right. I don't even really follow it, but I just keep saying like, well, what about Trump? He rapes little kids too.
You can tell it's all desperate. Like when this GameStop thing happens, like it's so desperate. It's like call them Nazis. Like they don't know what to do. Like so, it's like the simplest, easiest thing.
They have to go on the offense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just, what about Trump? It's like the easiest, like quickest, like mindless. You got to react fast in today's time, like with the media escape. Like things happen fast, so you got to react like immediately. So like,
you got to throw out those takes.
Well, it's just so weird. Like it's the same thing. I was just like, I can't believe you would ever critique like the people that have complete absolute domination of just like institutional power. That must mean that you see nothing wrong with fucking like white supremacist neo-Nazis and shit like that. Like I don't know. It's bizarre. It's pretty fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the big thing that like I was just talking about like the Chapo shit lib kind of, being cruel as a guise of like being like fuck these guys. Like the I don't know if you guys saw like the fuck grandma post that went around recently, but it was like some dude who like last year was just like talking about Corona, and he was like, yeah, bro, like we got to open the country. Like I don't give a shit about grandma. And then a couple of days ago was like posted something. He was like, fuck you, Andrew Cuomo. Like my grandma's dead because you shoved a bunch of people into nursing homes and they were all positive.
Right. The quartering.
And it's like this tweet that was like how it started, how it's going, and it has like 240,000 likes. And like I saw somebody tweet that, and they're like, this is kind of like fucked because like yes, you're like shitting on this dude, and yeah, like there's some like, you know, irony in his posting, but like what he's saying is still 100% valid, where it's like, you know, Cuomo fucked over a bunch of people, and you know the wanting to open up the country and not have this like, you know, harsh lockdown that we've had that's had all these like terrible repercussions is also equally valid. And it's like there's a lot of these like, you know, sort of like fuck you guys, haha, like you're losers kind of stuff that comes from the left, which really just masks the political issues and does that sort of like, you know, like it performs that function to be like, oh yeah, like we're the good guys because this asshole, like he doesn't even know it's good for himself.
I remember being like, yo, so like all of a sudden we went from like grandma's a racist to like, oh, don't kill grandma to report grandma to the FBI. It's like, yo, what? Like, you know, what? That reminds me of like the double mask thing. Like, have you guys like? I don't even know what to say about that shit. Like,
triple mask.
Yeah, the triple mask. I don't even know what to say. I don't know. What do you? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Funny.
I don't know what to say. I mean, it's amazing.
I'm just gonna wear like a motorcycle helmet everywhere I go with like the visor down, just like with multiple masks on.
They made fun of me in middle school for it, but look at me now.
No one cared who I was before I put on the helmet.
I don't know, man. Like maybe this is like an anticlimactic take, but like it seems like straightforward at this point because it's like because it's just like the symbol, like the shorthand symbol of just individual responsibility in this political issue, right? And so and like any like analysis of it that like tries to make it like much more complicated than that is, I think, like kind of, you know, doing something wrong. Like that's basically all it is. And like it's a fucking joke. Like I was telling some buddies the other night, like this is basically just like the equivalent of like 2008 telling people that they like couldn't afford those houses and shame on them, right? And that's the problem. That's also going to be what we do with the GameStop people, right? It's like the market crash because it's because internet Nazis. But like, yeah, no, like it's just lib brain fucking personal responsibility and accountability politics, and it's fucking bullshit, dude. It was the quartering, one of those like anti-SJW fucking retards on YouTube who like talks about Magic the Gathering going woke 30,000 times a week. But like, he was the guy who had the like my grandma died thing. And one thing that I resent about that is that like in the crossfire of that, it also conflates, like it conflates and mixes up the concepts a little bit and acts like the only way to go is just simply lockdowns, right? Yeah. As opposed as if that's interchangeable with like moving populations in fucking retirement homes. Like these are very different things, right? And like just because you're like against certain levels of lockdown doesn't mean you're against all fucking COVID measures, right? But like that's the end product of that kind of manufacturing of consent there. No, right?
Exactly. Like it completely responsibilizes and depoliticizes at the same time.
Exactly.
And it's just shoehorning you into like, you have to go with the lockdowns because otherwise your grandma's going to be dead a year later and we're going to make fun of you for it.
Yeah. And it makes everything lockdown. It makes everything lockdown. Like there is no like world of like varied strategies, right? It's all what they're doing and there is nothing else and there is no other alternatives that you can consider.
Yeah. And even more so because the dude in the second tweet was like, Cuomo, you did this. And so it's just like completely sweeping that under the rug. And it's like, nah, bro, like it's because of dumbasses like you who wouldn't lock down and wouldn't wear the mask and won't wear the second mask. Like this is your fault.
Right. It doesn't matter that Cuomo like was closing down fucking hospitals. Like that's a drop in the bucket compared to the quartering posting something on Twitter. Like people even know who the fuck that guy is. Like
you guys seen people wear the second mask?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I saw it
Oh,
yesterday
boy.
at the grocery store.
Oh boy.
This shit
Dude, I
was
got
so
the fucking
fun.
vaccine. I'm not doing any of that shit. I barely wear one mask. I went to the convenience store the other day without a mask. Nothing happened. I'm fucking done with this shit.
Wait, you got the vaccine?
Can you just walk there and be like, yo, I got the vaccine, fuck it.
No, I mean, no
Yeah.
one said anything. They just checked me out. But I have a little
energy.
card I can show. It's like a, like where it writes down the label and all that stuff. I get the second vaccine on Friday. So, but I was exposed to someone who tested positive, and I got the test on Thursday, and I tested negative. So I think it's already working.
Sure.
Damn.
But I mean,
you
I know
feel
it's
like-
controversial over here to get the vaccine.
Different.
You just tell people I'm Chad, I'm good. I can't get this anymore. I'm good.
Pretty much, yeah. I
You're
don't
good
give a fuck.
Yeah.
How did you get it? Through work?
Yeah, from my former employer.
I see. I'm not getting that shit anytime soon.
Do you feel any different? Do you feel like a vagina's growing out of your foot?
Yeah. You feel like a thin cell yet?
How are you feeling about? Have you been looking at cats on? Local shopping?
You keep telling me I'm radiating feminine energy.
No, I was telling Menace like a couple of weeks ago, right after I got it. So pretty much the only symptoms I had from the first one was the night I got it, I couldn't sleep at all, and then I slept for like 2 days straight. And I don't know if that's really related or not, but most of the time you just get tired and then you're fine. Everything else has been 100% okay. But the second dose, which I'm taking Friday, that's what apparently you feel sick the next day. So I'll let you all know how I feel.
How's the erection? Is everything all right or?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll get there, unfortunately.
No problem at all.
But I'm also immune though, because I did get it like a about a month ago. So me and Drew both immune from the Chinese virus.
You gotta protect the posters, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it if I have to. I just, I don't have any strong feelings about it. If they make me take it, I mean, whatever.
No, I didn't mean I got the vaccine. Like I actually got COVID like a month ago. I should have clarified.
A month ago? Wait,
Yeah. So I like got together on maybe like the 28th with my like girlfriend, like and like a bunch of her family members, and then like a couple days later, her sister was like, I tested positive, and her boyfriend did, and then like her dad and stepmom like went to the hospital, and I never even got tested, but like I had the exact same symptoms as them. We were all together, so I was like, shit, fuck it, I guess I got it. So so now I got those antibodies, so I'm more stronger than ever.
You're contributing to herd immunity.
Yeah.
But it was like it was fine. Like you got your taste buds. You can smell shit.
Yeah, I mean, my taste is like a little bit off, and like I felt like I still kind of feel like tired. Like my energy and like isn't as good. And like the first couple of weeks was like really shitty. I was just like always exhausted, but like I never got it bad. I mean, no one really got it. Like 6 people tested positive, and then like we didn't get tested, but we just had the same symptoms as everyone. So I was like, fuck it, and had all the like whatever COVID symptoms, like lost the taste, blah blah blah. So I was like, why even go bother to get a test? So add to the lib pandemic numbers. I don't want to be a part of it. I want to make you proud, but yeah. So but then her dad and stepmom, they got like really fucked up. Like they were in the hospital for like 10 days. Yeah.
Yeah, my grandma has the COVID currently.
Damn, that sucks, man.
Yeah, we'll see how she pulls through. She's a strong bitch. I think she'll do it.
She doing okay so far?
Tough-ass broad.
Yeah, she's a strong ass broad for sure. She's like 80 years old, has cerebral palsy, like lived her whole life angry as hell in a wheelchair. She'll be good.
That generation, because her dad and stepmom went to the hospital, but like her grandfather's like 85 and he's fine.
Yeah, I think that'll be good.
Is COH talking to her main doctor, like sitting down in his office? All right, so tell me, what's the deal with this broad?
What's the deal with this broad? And I'm also paying her under the table to give her head to our queen.
Hey, you're like, look, doc, I can't make the payments right now, but GameStop and AMC are looking real good.
I can pay you AMC shares if you'd like.
Doge.
Yeah, you take Dogecoin.
Yeah, Doge bag.
Yeah, it's like if you have the money to spare, it's even if you don't get money from it, it's just funny, and you get to be a part of something with just like even if you just want to throw in like like a little bit. You just have fun with your friends, and everyone had a blast. I thought, I saw a lot of great memes.
I love just branding it as just like having fun with your friends. Like,
No, it's perfect. Like right now, what do you usually do? You go out and do things with your friends, and that costs money. Right now, a lot of people can't really leave their house, so you're staying at home. I mean, typically to have fun with your friends, it does cost money. So I think it's just a different way of having fun with your friends. I mean, some people made money, but a lot of people, it's just the memes.
Yeah. Well, speaking of having fun with friends, as soon as AMC's open here, I'm renting out an AMC theater. I'm going to go buy a bunch of used games from GameStop, and all you motherfuckers can come out, and we're going to do a big party in it.
Let's fucking go.
You want to play the games on the AMC screen?
Yeah, bro, on the big screen.
Yeah,
I'm playing. I'm going to bring my Xbox 360 and play some 2K14 on the big screen, baby.
You're gonna play some online poker to talk some shit to people.
Instead of people behind a bitch in the chat on the big screen.
Instead of stimulus checks, we're gonna get like movie tickets and used games.
Yeah, you're gonna get a membership to like the AMC Stub Club.
Listen here, Jack. This is what you wanted.
I kind of like the idea of the don't forget what they took from us meme, but it's just like Nokia and GameStop.
Brick phones and like walk-in theaters.
Wistful of a better time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they took away the walk-in theaters and brought back the drive-ins, those sons of bitches.
Yeah. AMC has pretty much died. Like people don't watch it. You just watch Netflix. Like nobody's going to AMC anymore.
Dude,
like,
now that they've switched over and they're having stuff like Time Warner or Warner Bros. Combining with HBO Now so they can release their movies in the same day on HBO Now with no additional cost to watch. Like, dude, no one's gonna go to the goddamn movies unless there's like a huge resurgence of people just trying to like do regular shit again when this all ends. Like, I don't know. I think some people are going to be settled now into like, I mean, it only takes like 30 days to make a habit or some shit like that. So like, I mean, once you're in this habit of just sitting around the house, not doing shit, bugman mentality, it's going to be hard to break to like go watch a movie in the movie theater that you can go see for free on HBO Now.
Yeah, these trends were already on the way. Like they were already like killing off like retail. They were already killing off like people going to the movies for Netflix. Now it's like cemented. Now it's like, why the fuck would you go to that anyway?
I mean, so if the incels and the femcells are going to meet up, they're going to need to have a first date. So
deserted.
They need to go see a Promising Young Woman and all that horse shit.
Well, to be honest,
it's action.
I saw some posts where we were seeing it was like the CEO of AMC on like Friday or Thursday, and they were like, "Yeah, to be honest, like it was looking like we might not make it the next few years, but now after this stock thing, it looks like we might actually be able to do something." They might have saved the movies, bro.
Yeah, I saw that too. They said that they think that they can make it like a few more decades or some shit.
Yeah, they might go into research and development or some shit and like do some new movie shit.
Hey, yeah, man, we did that shit.
Hey. Yes,
we held the line.
Yeah, hold the line. Everybody listening, I don't know if you got any stocks. I don't necessarily have it, but hold the fucking line.
Yeah, hold that fucking line.
Never sell.
I ain't fucking selling.
Diamond hands, baby.
Diamond hands.
Yeah, you just think in the future, 20 years from now, right? You're gonna be all of our listeners are the Chad meme with the NB wife, right? And you're up there. Hey babe, can you give me some popcorn? Dude, sure thing. You walk up to the fucking counter, pimply faced kid. Hey, what can I get you, sir? As he's getting you your popcorn, you say, I was one of those posters that saved this company. And you hold your hands up. These are diamond hands, right?
We're gonna have a screening of 300 in honor.
Yeah, no, exactly. You're at a legacy screening of Joker.
The trench coat. Yeah, you're gas canister.
You're wearing your Fed Post merchandise T-shirt. Everything's good.
Grip Shop is DMing me right now a toboggan kufi that he's working on to drop for the merch drop. So let's.
Oh yeah, I'm fucking buying that shit, dude.
Oh.
Where's the store at?
Trench coat. Huh?
Where's the old store at?
I don't
I
know.
think
We
we're
need-
just gonna do a limited run right now with Grift Shop and see how it goes, and drop like a t-shirt, a Koofy hat, and a couple other things. And then
please,
just
an all
kinda-
black trench coat, please.
Yeah,
All black
we're not trying to
trench
grift it too hard. Like I don't want to spend the time to like actually make merch designs. So like a Grift Shop right now, he actually does that. So he said he'd do it.
Nice.
So that's
That's
as much
tight.
effort as I'm really willing to put into it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm into it. I mean, if anybody has any, if any like listeners have any ideas for like what they would like, I feel like that's the best way to get the ideas. But I mean,
Yeah,
we got a
do
few
the-
ideas, and
Do
Yeah,
the images on the shirts.
oh, that's a must. I think that's a must right there.
I'll hit you with my library.
Yeah, if you have a
Let's go.
manifesto you've been working on and you want it like printed on a trench coat, an all black trench coat, like yeah, but let's talk about it. Let's do it.
We should do like those A24, like we talked about, those like A24 coffee table books that are just like screenplays of like shitty art house movies, except it'll be that, but just like deranged manifestos from like Discord users. From Ren. Right. Oh, you have an Ari Aster screenplay of Midsummer? Okay, well, I have I have Quicksilver's Guide to Investment.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're thinking like a "These People Are Sick" T-shirt,
Yes.
and then also like a Fed Post T-shirt of some kind, either with the logo or like with like Nixon and a Koofy or something. And then we're also thinking that we'll do, let's see, Lib Pandemic mask and Lib Pandemic T-shirt.
You need an Arrest Joe Biden T-shirt.
Yeah,
We should just we should
impeach Biden.
a Joe Biden raped me T-shirt.
no, we should put the original Menace post on a T-shirt.
Yeah. Menace, we're really sorry about all those countless rapes from celebrities.
No, it's okay. You know, somebody needed to survive to tell the stories.
That's so
Being
true.
raped by countless political figures. I started to put what's his name? I started to post John Weaver raped me, but I thought that might be a little too like the Lincoln Project guy. But I mean, he kind of fucked around with kids, so I'm gonna try and be a little sensitive for like a little bit before I post
I
that.
believe you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I was like, oh, that's too much, but we'll see.
I mean, you might get like swept up in a news cycle and actually like have someone reach out to you.
Yeah, I know. That's what I don't know if I want that level of attention, because that's when, you know, people really dig and docs and stuff like that. So, you know, gotta know which battles to pick.
There's some Slate fucking podcast that's like, and we reached out to an anonymous source, the Posting Menace.
What I posted is, I don't want to just like talk about like my post or anything, but like I got fact checked by like an Indonesian news site like back in January.
Right.
Yeah, so that was when like the day of the Capitol, I like posted like Mike Pence has been arrested, and like it's like on the like the front of the article, it's like hoax busted. And it's,
Are you serious, dude? That's fucking hilarious.
I'll share it with the group DM later. But yeah, it was amazing. I'm glad I stumbled across it.
The Pinocchio Menace.
Yeah, I wish I could find like an English version, because I couldn't read anything. But it's like the only part I could read is like there's like my tweet and just says hoax busters, and it was like, so I guess the article was about me spreading disinformation to the Indonesian people.
Yeah. Menace is like Steve Harvey raped me, or he's just got like a gun pointed at Hillary Clinton. They're just like, yeah, this is not true. I'm thinking that Jeffrey Epstein did not rape him. I think that this anonymous user.
Got some pushback.
I do not think that Beau Biden raped him before he died. That's one of the ones I posted. That's one of the funnier things.
He's the dead one, right?
Yeah, he's the dead one.
It's making me think about Bo Bice from American Idol.
Yeah.
He was from Alabama. He taught some of my friends guitar when I was in like elementary school.
Bama boy.
Yeah. Let's go.
Beau Biden raped Beau Bice too. That's why he died. That's why he got brain cancer, because God punishing him for raping all those people.
Yes. Dude, I saw someone in the Discord talking about Beau Biden helped to cover up some sort of like DuPont family incest baby or something.
Yeah, straight up. It was straight up the plot of Chinatown. Like there's like a secret incest rape baby, like in one of these fucking aristocratic American families. It's like
real.
it's that's gotta be true, honestly, right?
Yeah, it's all real.
Oh my god, man. Is Menace saying that about Beau Biden going to be the animated clip?
Exactly. It's necessary. Absolutely necessary.
Whatever you got to do. I'm with the team. You know.
Oh shit! What else do we have to talk about this week?
Well, there's been a lot of re-education tweets recently, which is really nice.
Oh my god! I forgot about that.
Yeah, well, actually, I was my girlfriend's parents who got out of the hospital. We go over, like, bring them food and help them out with shit. And her dad is like big, like, long time conservative, like Ronald Reagan pictures in his house, voted Trump, blah blah blah. And he was talking about how he was like, I know they're gonna. He was like, they want to put me in the re-education camp.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah, but it's just incredible to hear it said by someone in real life. So,
do you guys ever have that experience where like you like hear some of like the deranged shit you hear in online discourse echoed by like normies out in the wild, and it sends a fucking chill down your fucking spine?
Yeah,
like that shit scares me.
It's not good.
Wait, what scares you?
Just like hearing some of the deranged shit that like you see online echoed by just like normies IRL, and you're just like, oh god, it's getting insane out here, right? Because like realistically, like a lot of the shit we're talking about is like, you know, not super relevant to most people, right? But then like the shit that does bleed through, and it's usually like the most fucking like misanthropic, putting your neighbor in a FEMA camp kind of shit. Yeah, like it's like, oh my god,
guy's such a nerd. I mean, this is why I was saying, I was like, look, I mean, people make fun of anarchists and libertarians, like I get that, like, but you know, you're just like, oh, you know, you just get rid of institutions and like, you know, everything will work out fine. Like they're very naive. Like I get that. That's funny. But the tankies, like the people who have like fantasies of like being a tanky or a fascist, like in control, like that shit is mad cringe, man. This dude's like you look at his profile, he's a clear fucking nerd. And every tanky I've seen is just like a real heavy nerd. And it's just like, yeah, I'm going to be like the leader of the vanguard. Like, cause I read these books, like I'm a fucking, you know, I read this shit. So like, I'm going to decide who goes into the camps or not. And like, they're already talking as if it's already happening. Like, that's a little bit, honestly, if I were to pick between the two, like that's a little bit more cringe. That is a little, to think you have power when you don't is a little bit more cringe than you know, not understanding power at all. It's a little bit more cringe.
Like, aren't these people jumping the shark a little bit? Like, I mean, they talking about re-education camps and they don't even have a goddamn like coherent ideology. They don't even have a political fucking party with any ability to build institutional power. Like, what the fuck are you doing here? One step at a time, buddy.
You're talking about mass re-education camps in a country that's currently the best strategy they have against coronavirus is to shame people into wearing more cloth on their fucking faces. What are you, a fucking moron?
Well, yeah, the one pushback I have on CRK's description of the tankies is you are saying they're heavy people as an insult, but what you don't understand is being heavy and overweight is part of the strategy. So people trying to escape from the camps, they sit on top of them.
They're cultivating mass right now. That's what they're doing. They're backing on mass
for the dark winter.
Yeah, they gotta cultivate muscle later. Right now is the building mass stage.
The central planning of the United States government is just going to use lard asses instead of iron gates and fences for camps. It's just going to be a bunch of people with like degrees in the humanities that are just
a bunch of just thumbs with blue hair.
Can't get by, bucko.
Yeah, that
Oh
guy's
my
a
God.
fucking nerd. I don't know anything about him. He's just got like Marxist in his bio, and he's just like he looks like a fucking like dude. Like yeah, go to the South. Go meet the rednecks. Go meet the redneck Hicks, and like yeah, put them in camps. Go ahead, do it. Yeah, let's see you do it.
See,
Yeah.
now we got a new tweet that's out today. That's by some other broad, and she quote tweeted that, and it was like, "Listen, y'all whiteys either getting re-educated or y'all getting redacted, and I would prefer redacted because y'all too dumb to re-educate or some stupid shit like that. Like y'all taking up too much land that's not yours."
I can't believe I used to believe this shit. Oh my god, this is what hurts more. It's like I used to believe this shit.
Like, well, what do they think? They're gonna kill like 98% of the United States population and leave it for indigenous people? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
yeah, I asked him. I was like, all right, so what happens with the people that you can't re-educate? What happens with them? No response, right? But like all his tweets are just like, yeah, people thinking that I'm trying to like put people in camps. That's mad funny. It's like, yeah, what are you going for? Like, yeah, like you know what I mean? You get the easy faves. We all know how it works. You get the easy faves implying something. Like we all know what you're implying. You know what I mean? Like don't play games. Like we know what you're implying. It's like, of course, that's what you're trying to go for. It's like, but yo, like, what are you talking about for real though? Like for real, like if it actually goes down, like what are you talking about? Nothing. You know what I mean? Like it's just a joke. This is a joke. All these people are just jokes.
Like what's to keep people from being like, yeah, I'm re-educated and reformed, but just not being like what? Like I just be like, yeah, totally. Like I get it. I'm not racist at all, yo.
Yeah,
and then like you leave, and then you're just racist. Like what?
No, and that's all the more reason why like what this actually is just a bunch of like just the most pathetic, reprehensible people just like trying to get the state to just dole out violence to the people that they don't like. And like and since politics is basically just like a bullshit entertainment consumer choice, it would be probably like more honest and respectable if it was just people literally being like, I'm a Batman fan and I want every Superman fan indefinitely detained and waterboarded and vice versa, right? Like it's all a bunch of bullshit, and it's I don't know. I refuse to respect any of these fucking people. Like anybody saying that like Proud Boys are terrorists or anybody saying that Antifa are terrorists are literally just trying to like have the state dole out violence to their neighbors. And like, no, that's bad. You're an enemy of like society and like community. And like, this is pathetic. It's so pathetic. I fucking hate it so much, dude. Like, I don't know. We laugh about this shit, but also like every once in a while it is good to just get like serious about like, this is so bad.
Sicko shit.
It is sicko shit.
And it is something wrong in their head. Like no doubt about it.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy. I mean, you see like you see people talking about like post-revolution or whatever, and it's like if you look at like the Capitol thing or even like the GameStop thing, like anything people try and do is shut down very easily.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what did these people believe in their mind? Like, what would it take for a revolution to happen? You know what I mean?
Like in the real scope of history, and especially in the Marxist like historical materialist understanding of history, you would understand that like a quote unquote revolution doesn't really end. Like it's pretty much like a constant state of like there would be, it wouldn't just be something that like, oh, now we've got communism and now we can throw the rednecks in the camps and get rid of them. Like what, that wouldn't just happen the next day or something. Like these people like have literally no conception of how history works, how society organizes itself, how fucking revolutions work, how literally anything at all works.
No, it's managerial brain. That's why like the hardcore communists are just libs. Like it's managerial brain. It's like, well, what are we gonna do with you? We're gonna re-educate. We're gonna sit you down and give you the Ludwig technique from Clockwork Orange and make you watch HR videos. And like, if that doesn't work, then off with your head. Like it's HR. It's managerial shit. It's like, wait, why are you in charge? How come? Wait, so this is all subjective. Like what's bigoted, what's not. Like it's very subjective. So who's calling the shots? Oh, you are.
And
why are you calling it? It's because you're the fucking HR manager. Is that why? Like, right? You know what I mean? Like people think of it as like the HR joke is like just libs, like hardcore communists or HR motherfuckers. It's the same shit to me.
I've got some pushback, like not on the thing of you saying what you're saying about communist people, because I think that most people who self-describe as communists end up being libs who just do race essentialism and just are like super in favor of a state. But like, I don't think that state power is inherently bad in itself. I think I think that the state is needed to carry out the wills of the body that's being governed by the state, right? Or like the wills of class society. It's just like an inherent thing that's going to pop up when there are these contradictions. I think the difference is that like, I think that we should use the state to oppress people. Like, I think that like I would like use the state to oppress the bourgeoisie if I was able to. Like people who are corporate people who run corporations who have excess amounts of money, like there would have to be some sort of coercion, forced or not, in order to be able to forcibly redistribute their wealth, change the profit, make reinvesting mechanism within the company, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that like a strong state's not bad, I don't think. And I don't think that like being honest about the way that power works and the state works and doles out violence is bad. What I think is bad is that like, I think that working class people should have state power. I think that like underclass people should have state power. These people think that like a few indigenous people or black people should have state power. And that's what like the governing body is of society. And that's what the collective is. It's like
they should have state power.
Ultra
like
minority.
Yeah,
totally. Which is like an ultra minority should have state power and control things rather than like the collective should have the power of the governing body, which is what I personally believe. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with advocating for strong state and using it for workers' means, because I think it would be necessary.
No, not at all.
This is the gun.
Not at all. No. Yeah, not at all. I mean, the only reason I don't like the anarchists or whatever is because they don't think about power at all. But like, if you are power minded and you're like, yo, how do we get power? Like, it's cool. I think that's necessary. But like the ones who are just like fantasizing, like, yeah, I'm the philosopher king. I've read all this stuff. And like, you know, I studied critical race theory and this is what we're going to do with you problematic folks that haven't learned this, or like you uneducated lumpen proles or whatever. Like that type of, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, yo, what are you talking? Like, yo, how delusional are you? Like, you're nobody. You're nobody. You're just some nerd. Like, you just reading shit that doesn't mean you're not in power just because you read some shit.
No,
you know
it's just an
like,
ego trip. It's like it's literally like bully shit. It's like bullies bullying people because it makes them feel like they have more power. Like these people just make a fantasy world in their head where they can put people in camps they don't like because it makes them feel like they actually have some sort of power.
Well, it's also just like the technocratic hegemony that we have, right? Like I think that this is also just part of the you know, I'm talking to fucking lib boomers fucking 5 days a week at work, right? And the most common well, not 5 days because I'm a fucking part-time cuck, but like the most common thing I'm always hearing, right, that everyone has to say, right, because you know, understandably, like people aren't policy fluent, and that's fine. I don't think that invalidates anybody. But like the most common opinion is just like, oh well, you know, like we're gonna be listening to Fauci now, and like thank God we have a president that isn't, you know, we have a president that respects the form. Well, he respects the experts and he respects form and has dignity and all of this shit, right? Like it's so important that like you respect the fucking child sacrifice and satanic rituals when you walk into their temple, right? And like it's fucking bullshit. And you get all of these, you know, overeducated people acting like it's like a conversation that you two were involved with me recently, of just like this kind of assumption that you could, you know, claim to know what's better for like honest average people, right? Like I would never do that, right? And the idea that like you know better and that you need to teach people the right way to think, and then claim that you have any kind of claim to like any kind of populist energy is like fucking absurd. I have this buddy who's in an econ program at UW right now, right? And I'm talking to him the other day, and I talk to him about politics like all the time, right? And I'm talking to him the other day, and he's talking about talking to like classmates about urban planning all the time, right? And he just like, you know, he's like a bit more conservative than I am, and like most people I know are. But I mean, he's basically just describing like every single person in this class, you know, identifies as like some kind of like communist or socialist, and like they don't want to acknowledge that like literally what they are going into and what they are all doing and working on is not like they're not in the position in the class society that they think they are in, right? Like this is all just comfortable lies that they tell themselves so that they can feel like the good guys, right? It's completely at odds with any kind of analysis of class society. And again, like I'm not mad at them for the position they're in. Like no one is scolding them. Like you should go out and like enrich your life and try to get the bag. I think you should do that, right? But like you don't need to like LARP as being someone you aren't. It's kind of like how every single politician ever says that they come from a humble working class background. It's all just fucking LARPing.
Yeah, it's like if you're a fucking like societal manager, maybe don't try to act as like the like face of the working class movement. Like you're a goddamn like manager of just general people. You're just like not even at work, like just of society. That's what you're going into. You're going into like the humanities to try to figure out how to tell people best to think. Like, motherfucker, you're not the working class, like, and you shouldn't be the embodiment of their movement. Like, people are like, I don't know, it's sick, man. I've been getting so caught up on people like just thinking about, the real battle is just fixing wrong think, and like, we really gotta just combat that. It's like, dude, just fuck.
Just saying that, like, oh, this is what's gonna happen. Well, you know, what once the revolution happens, this is what's gonna happen to these people. It's like if you're saying that and you're saying something that is widely unpopular, like you're saying something like that's super woke and something that most people don't agree with, and you're saying like this is what's gonna happen. It's like shut the fuck up. You're not talking about anything. You know what I mean? Like you're acting as if this thing that's unpopular is popular. It's like it's clearly unpopular. Everybody knows it's unpopular. Like you know what I mean? Like nobody is in favor of putting people in like that's not a popular opinion of like, oh yeah, let's put these people in camps because they did wrong thing because they had a slur or they didn't put their pronouns in their bio. Like that is not a popular opinion. Maybe you think that, maybe you and your friends think that, but that's not popular. So like this idea like, oh yeah, well, you know, this is what's gonna happen when shit really goes down. Who are you talking about? Like this is what's so funny is like that's the popular opinion, but then all the like normie opinions that are actually popular are fringe. That's the funniest thing I see that goes down like with the discourse is like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, what are you really talking about? Like that, I don't. It's hilarious. It's just absurd on its face, and it's just like I love when they post that shit. I love when they just say it, and it's just like it's just right there. It's just like people don't have to ask me like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Look at that. Look at the tweet. Look what they're saying. Like it's right there.
Just telling themselves.
Yeah, they're telling themselves. Yeah. It's managerial brain. It's white collar PMC managerial brain. That's what that is. What else could that be? If you're talking from a position of the minority and you're like, I'm going to dictate this on the masses. How else do you explain that? That's managerial brain. That's I have power, but no mandate, but no popularity. That's what that is. That's exactly what that is.
Like economic populism is the most popular political brand right now, and it's because conditions are worsening, but like no one actually has any interest in pursuing those goals because the party is dominated and made up by the enemy that brand of politics would have you arrive at. And so really like politics, even for the high cultural fluency, Twitter addicted, crazy blue hairs, all the way down to just like normies these days, politics is literally just about misery and suffering and as much as you can deal out to your political opponent. That's all that they're doing. That's all that they're fucking doing. And if they had any actual genuine interest in economic populism, they wouldn't be waging a war on terror against the actual fucking underclass. Fucking, I'm making myself mad.
Underclass isn't a real term, dude. That's just like you're just using that. That's like right wing think tank ideology, bro. There's no underclass, dude.
Underclass? You mean racists?
That's code switching just for racist.
I think you're forgetting the very important fact that white people are bad. Yeah, and really, I think we should be foregrounding that.
Yeah, melanin deficient people are no good.
Yeah,
it's a crisis.
You need to follow Shenji Jordan or whatever her name is.
The weed addicted deranged woman who is my god,
bitch.
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
That Glenn Greenwald post is like, what is going on with this woman?
Homie, what's that you from?
Yo, I love that tweet.
She's so good, man.
I love that shit. Terrifying.
Yeah,
genuinely terrifying. It's like she's the female Nathan J. Robinson, right?
I think they should date. I think they would make beautiful children together.
Their kids would look like Oompa Loompas 100%.
Cure her femcell brain for sure.
They'll date and they'll have kids, and then they'll just clone those kids to be every member of the news media 2 decades from now. It'll just all be just like little Jarden Nathans.
Our first project on setting up femcells and incels are going to be Nathan Robinson and Sini Jarden.
Nathan J. Robinson is the bad kind of incel, though. You know what I mean? Like he's not about having fun with his boys or anything
not like
that.
Elliot Rodgers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
exactly. I'm looking for more Elliot Rodgers and less Nathans in Minecraft.
Too many Nathans, not enough Elliots, and that's why there has not been a revolution. Coming at it from the wrong angle.
But so far, the year has been very fucking hilarious. So far, this year is fucking hilarious.
2021's been fucking dope so far.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Maybe this next week, GME and AMC will hit, and it'll be even doper.
Dude, just don't sell, boys.
I will never sell. They will have to
hands.
pry these shares out of my cold, dead hands.
Go.
50 years from now on your deathbed, just looking around at your family. Don't sell.
I'll disown all of you if you fucking sell.
Yeah, just like your last possession, the only thing you leave. Completely bankrupt. Just have their share.
Let's go. Well, we should get everybody's names before we dip off. You guys want to just drop your names and handles? We could just go Menace, Drew, Spicy. Drop it off before we go.
Yeah. Just Menace at Apple Dog Lives.
Hey,
I'm Drew at AO Gummies.
hey,
And I'm Spicy Boy at He Who's Spicy.
hey, the brain trust. That's what it is. Yo, good luck. Thanks for coming on, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us, dude.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, yeah, minus Fabi. Yeah, we'll get Fabi on next time. Let's do this again. Hey,
Always a
rest in
pleasure,
peace.
boys.
Rest in peace,
Yeah,
Captain
man.
Obvious.
All right, later, boys.
All right, peace.
Deuces.
Later.